All right, it's Wednesday, December 4th, just following up on MSTU. This is an end of the day daily recap with about a couple of minutes to go in trading. And you can see here we ended up with a 2-up green bar that looks like it wants to close, near the highs of the day. And if that's the case, then we're going to look going forward for it to hold above the open of the week, which is right here, and continue higher towards our next target up in this area. As long as we hold the midpoint of this bar going forward and get a new high, we'll expect that high to be taken out. In terms of intraday, I shot an earlier video updating it kind of early in the morning here, saying we were just inside of yesterday and inside of the first bar of the day. Once we went red, I wasn't surprised that we came down and took out the lows of the day, and we went to the pre-market lows down in here, and even this low pivot point from yesterday, you can see we took that out, and then it kind of paused for a while, came up, and what happened was we ended up with the downside failure. That was one of the scenarios I was thinking about in terms of how the market might want to resolve to the upside in an overall choppy environment. Once we failed down here and then had an somewhat orderly pullback, I guess, and then couldn't make a secondary push lower, we went up strong to the midpoint of that first bar in here. At that point, you kind of suspected that high was going to be taken out, and that was kind of the signal to me that we can now go to the pre-market highs and ultimately get a 2-up day, and in this case then reach our first target, which was the high here of the week. So market did that, and it's going to close green, and now we get to see in compound fashion, does it start working up to that area. In the bigger picture, we're still just inside on the week here, so we've turned the weekly chart green temporarily, and we can have a lot of volatility within this, but until we really, I don't think with a couple of days to go that we're going to get all the way up and get a 2-up week. We'll see. We'll close with an inside week, and all that is going to mean is continued choppiness potentially, but with a lot of volatility. So if we come up here and take out that pivot high, who knows, at that point, do we then get another downward move in towards these lows? You go day by day. But we're in a choppy environment with nothing crystal clear in terms of the next weekly signal. But since the weekly chart has turned green and there's a lot of volatility, we'll stay to the upside now and kind of play that as long as we kind of hold the midpoint of this bar, tomorrow. And then we'll see if we head up to our next targets up here. And, maybe we get strong moves up and we resume this entire trend to the upside. So you can go day by day. So I'd be comfortable being on the buy side of it now as long as we stay above the open and stay green. And we'll just see. Maybe we, go very, maybe we close very strongly all the way up to 200 or something like that, and it becomes a green inside bar that you kind of expect then to test the all-time highs into next week. So the point is, there's a lot of volatility in play. We go with the reference point of the open of the week, whether we want to be biased up or down, and we know that there are potential failures within this choppy range. In this case, the failure, I was always talking about it, can we get a failure to the downside? In this case, it developed more because after 3 days, we couldn't quite test the weekly low. We were getting closer and closer to the end of the week without really getting down there, and especially today, you had the big reversal day, which was the signal. You didn't know it here for sure, what was going to happen. You didn't know right here, but as it really started moving up above that midpoint of the first bar and, above the first bar, there was your sign to give it a shot and get that pinball effect to take out the pre-market highs, a 2-up day, taking out yesterday's high and then reaching our first target, which is the, Monday's high, and we're closing up there. So that's kind of a recap on the MSTU. We, have an overall uptrend in place. We have a choppy environment, and we go day by day, and today we did get the reversal to the upside. Let's see if it continues for the rest of the week.